But at the end of it, I don't want to go because these things are all, the tapes are available, the records are there. In fact, only about 2 weeks ago I saw a set of the records again. The transcripts are available. But we talked about the Nigerian situation, and certainly at the end everybody says, oh, you told them this, you did that. The fact was that our case was so clear that I actually believe at the end of Aburi that the problem was not Gowon, but probably some ambassadors in Lagos who were pressing for something else. Because we understood each other. We agreed on every single point. The drafting was, in fact, my chief secretary with 2 other chief secretaries from the other side. They said, no, and drafted and agreed. We looked at it, we agreed. General Ankara read over the whole report again to us at the end, asked us if we wanted to amend anything. No. At the end of all that, the position was so good that actually Ankara drove Jack, Gowon, and myself to the airport. Jack was sitting on his left, I was sitting on his right. He was in the middle. And in the course of that journey, at a point, General Ankara shook his head and said, oh, thank you. Thank you. If only we can go on like this, everything would be all right.
Northern domination politically. The North feared the domination of the South educationally, commercially, etc. And I think it is the fear of the major fear of political domination was really what brought about the coup of 1966, which seemed to be one-sided. And it's mainly the northern leadership, both in the political as well as military, that were eliminated, and that engendered the crisis. Now, it was because Ojukwu or the East felt that after what happened in January and July, and a lot of the killings in September, in August, September, October, and subsequently, that the Igbos had to run to their own particular area, and I know that I had to even make sure that the soldiers separated, for a while. Otherwise, you never know what will happen. The animosity if they are within the same barracks. So I had to allow them to go back to their domain. Now, it was, when Ojukwu, the East, felt that they have no, because of what has happened, they have no further stake in the country. They decided they wanted to break away from the country. Now, that was really what brought about the civil war. And of course, I said, as a soldier, I'm supposed to defend my nation, and now as a head of state, I cannot allow the nation to break up. Like Winston Churchill said that he was not made prime minister to preside over the dissolution of the empire when India was wanted to become independent. So that was the point, and I decided that we should not, I should not allow Nigeria to break away. We will not allow any part to secede. Now, of course, Ojukwu wanted, if he succeeded, yes, with the oil, the major oil is in his own part of the country at that time, is in the eastern part of the country. Yes, in fact, he would be independent, he would be financially robust, and then who knows, he might probably go even beyond that to start reconquering the rest of the country so that he can be the president of the country. So the oil is not the
I want to ask General Yakubu Gowon, how far, how market today? How do you feel being now at the receiving end, understand, of the massacre now in your home state? How do you feel? That was what you did to my people, understand? From 67 to 70, you killed over 5 million of my people for the sake of one Nigeria. How do you feel today? Today, you and T.Y. Danjuma of Taraba State are now calling for a separate Middle Belt zone. We are watching all of you. For a separate, you are clamoring now for a separate Middle Belt zone. Something we had seen over 60 years ago, and we are fighting for it so that everybody will be free and then be independent. A totally decentralized system where everybody will be free to live as human beings, not like animals. Today you are clamoring for it. Our market, how far? You can now see that karma is a bitch. You can now see that, understand? And for all of you supporting evil, all the evil you're supporting, you're only nurturing what is going to happen for you, to all of you in the future. That is the consequences of it. Learn from what is happening today. Learn from it now. It is very unfortunate. It is happening in Nigeria.
Mr. Attenborough, I react to what this man has said. In the face of what is happening, considering the fact that the major stakeholder from the Middle Belt prosecuted that war, now we are seeing what is happening in the Middle Belt. They seem to be silent.
I think he was directly pointing at Gowon, Yakubu Gowon, former military head of state, and also, to an extent, questioning, the silent debate that is going on within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, centered on what transpired in 1967, what led Nigeria to Aburi, and up to this moment, that issue has not actually, been resolved. I used to say it very clearly that there's need for a revisit of Aburi Accord if Nigeria actually need to move very forward. So the blatant silence or the passive silence, which is very suspicious, on the side of Gowon, Yakubu Gowon, and Danjuma, who spearheaded, that unfortunate war. According to the man there, it claimed almost 6 million lives of Igbo people, and up to today, Nigeria is still dying as a result of unity. Why the issue is very clear. Yes, Gowon has been very silent. Danjuma has been very silent. The fear of confronting their past might be the reason why, or triggering a kind of questions of you would have listened to what Ojukwu was saying as at that time, or rather you would have foresee the way Ojukwu foresaw what was coming to Nigeria as at that time, because the people who are trying secretly now to see how they are going to save Fulani from Middle Belt, but it's no longer going to work because I can see what the Fulani politicians are doing currently now. There is no going back. They said they could not to depopulate the people until Islam and Sharia finally take over Nigeria. Then now at this point now, what would actually be going in now? That's the speculation the Hausa community are trying to ask Gowon currently now. The Hausa youth, the Hausa leaders themselves are trying to put that question directly to Gowon and Danjuma, who claimed to have fought for the unity of their people to be killed. and that is what is happening currently now. This reawakening, bring us back to the reality on ground of the position Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have taken, and of course, the glamour for Biafra recognition as a nation.
Okay, let us equally look at in the time of Muhammadu Buhari, how Ganduma called on the people to start defending themselves. It is worse that the military were not doing enough to protect the people. Some people are saying he was not serious with that statement. After all, he didn't follow it up with action, judging by who he is as a former general.
Yes, because all of them are falling into guilt now. All of them are beaten by their conscience. All of them are weakened by the resolve trying to match their intellectual capacity with that of Ojukwu at that time, and what triggered the glamour for separation of the Biafrans from Nigeria. I think they are ashamed of what they cost their people now, because their people now are beginning to realize that after all, Ojukwu was very correct. Imagine a situation where Nigeria would have gone their separate ways at that point. Imagine what, or maybe there wouldn't be any reason for this killing. And if there is, on the side of, because as at that time, definitely Middle Belt will join, some part of Middle Belt will be part of the North, so be it, But I can tell you that there would have been an option for the Middle Belters and for Christians in the North, if they feel that being in a Sharia hostile environment, or nation or country is detrimental to their destiny, they would have opted for a safer place, to now relocate, But you can see now virtually all the states in the country now are being under serious attack. Even the one we are hearing very clearly in Enugu State, we are seeing a lot of them a few days ago. Some of them were captured in Abia State, So they are virtually everywhere. No state in this country that is absolutely safe. But what the Middle Belters are saying at this point in time, that they can no longer, tolerate the silence of Yakubu Gowon and T.Y. Danjuma.
Because you just mentioned Gowon, I was to ask this question, because people are saying that Gowon should not be blamed for anything that came out of Aburi. After all, it was reported that he was sleeping during that deliberation. That the man that slept in the deliberation should not have fought in the decision he take thereafter.
Yes, I was surprised of mainly. You said during the negotiation in Aburi, that you slept off. You didn't know when those documents were actually signed, but you signed. You agreed on that accord in Aburi, Ghana. You agreed, but later you decided to change the narrative and change your mind completely. At that point also, at the position of Britain at that time, and what Britain actually did, because a lot of people are saying that why is it that Gowon has not raised his voice against the people he defended? They have now turned to killing his own people, even right there in his hometown. I think he has struggled several times to tender that certain apology that he regretted ever fighting for the Fulani people. But today it has taken another dimension completely. That Middle Belt, who are trying to move away from the corner, has already been tied by whatever that comes out of that unity as at that time, because they have been suppressed under the Northern law and they can not be able to move out. Yes, they see Middle Belt as part of the North, even to this moment. And the reawakening of the consciousness of the Middle Belters and even the Hausas who are trying to speak up now, just like what we have just watched now. All of them from the beginning have exonerated, Ojukwu, have exonerated the Igbo people, have come to realize that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was actually right on what is going on daily basis. As it stands now, in every day, one Nigeria must die as a result of the same Fulani attack. Gowon was jumping up and down, as at that time to defend. You never foresee it coming, that a time will come these people will actually turn against him. And the Fulanis are telling him now, you cannot go anywhere. You cannot escape. Gowon will not escape from the north. That's what they're telling him now. And his people also will not escape from the north. You know, they are either born by the Fulani rule or Sharia rule, or they don't have any option, nowhere to go. Including Gowon himself, you know, is feeling the heat. Nadu struggled, and they told him, you know, if you dare, they will expose the real thing that happened in Aburi. That every other region can go in Nigeria. That they prefer to work with the Yorubas, they prefer to work with the Middle Belt, but as long as you are not a Biafran, you are free from Sharia law.
Now, I do not make up a statement that comes from some people that Ojukwu played on the intelligence of Gowon. Now, that is why Gowon was confused and now coming out to sing a different song many years after the Aburi Accord.
No,
could Ojukwu have played on the intelligence?
Ojukwu never played. I think there were delegates from the federal government. You know, there were delegates from everywhere all over the world, and they were part of that agreement. You know, Gowon relates in that agreement. Ojukwu never played an intelligence. Ojukwu defended a position, you know, that Gowon actually, you know, agreed as at that time and was able to put his signature to it. You know, but whatever that have led Gowon after the Aburi coming back to Nigeria here, he decided that, you know, that the issue of Aburi Accord can no longer stand. And today, Aburi is standing before Gowon and T.Y. Danjuma, who the Fulanis instigated and used to kill, you know, Agui, you know, at this point in time. The same Gowon that said he was part of the military that attacked Agui University as an attack, has turned his back now and saying that, you know, come and save us, so we are under Fulani attack. The same Gowon. And that is why the world is not going to listen to them. They will face the consequences that they brought upon themselves. But the fact is that, like Martin Namdekano has always said, you know, Christians in the north should be given a safe landing when Biafra comes.
Okay, let me even cite this popular quote during the war that says, to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. Now, we have seen a one Nigeria on paper, but in the real terms, the Bible says, can two work together except agree? Nigeria is already divided along ethnic line, religious line. Do you think Nigeria is really one?
Nobody, as it stands now, you know, forget the, we are hearing that it was Bola Ahmed Tinubu that used Sunday Igbo, according to Sowore, as a weapon for self-determination. You can see how unfortunate, you know, they have already damaged their image. And no wonder the Fulanis are saying that they will stay more with Yorubas than the Igbos when the Nigeria will actually break up. They are tweeting it, they are saying it publicly on, you know, social media. But what surprises many is that how come Bola Ahmed Tinubu now used Igbo to disgrace the Yoruba nation for self-determination? And all of a sudden, it become just a political tool the same is the North knows that, you know, that they understand the position of Yorubas, you know, and when it comes to aligning with them, and that is what it means. You can see we're a situation where Igbo came into the picture just with an impression, just to create an atmosphere where the Fulanis will now hand over power to Bola Ahmed, you know, Tinubu. You can see how unfortunate it can be, and the kind of damage they have done to themselves. So it tells you that they are comfortable with, yes, they can be comfortable as they are, because they have two religions playing out in Southwest here, you know, and most of them are Muslims, most of them are Christians, you know, but in a Christian-dominated zone, geopolitical zone, which is the South and the Southeast, you know, does not agree with one Nigeria. The Middle Belt, as of now, does not agree in one Nigeria. The Yorubas can be partial about what Nigeria because of what they are getting. The Hausa does not want the Fulanis anymore. So where is the unity? And no wonder at every point in time, the federal government is always sounding unity, 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 unity. Buhari, unity. Jonathan, unity. All of them, unity, unity. They don't talk about any other thing apart from unity. But where is the unity? This is a unity, masterminded and formed and orchestrated by the Fulani to continue to infiltrate Nigeria, to conquer Nigeria politically and otherwise. And that is what we are, the kind of unity they are talking about today. The little consciousness that is coming from different zones, different areas in the country today, shows you that the Biafrans, before 1967, have already taken position on the unfortunate amalgamation that should be de-amalgamated immediately.
Well, if I may ask this question, coming from angle of self-examination, we understand there is a right to that because Nigerian government is already signatory to a UN charter and African charter that talks about self-examination. So to that extent, it's a law in Nigerian legal jurisprudence. However, it must be done within the ambit of the law, the void of one constitution of lives and properties of Nigerians. But this question I want to ask you is, what exactly the government will likely do that will make those agitating for a separate nation to choose option of restructuring?
Let me tell you, I think those options have been there on the table for a very long time, but unfortunately, because of the oil, they do not want restructuring to happen. Even when people believe that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to do it, but unfortunately, he's not going to do it because the Fulanis who are in government are in a position to determine what happens and what goes at the end of the day. They are virtually taking over everything, But Tinubu have lost it and have no political will in that direction to restructure Nigeria and allow Nigeria on confederation, because these are the things that are destroying the country. Yes, do you know how proud the Arab world or the Muslim world or the radicalized extremists, are looking at Nigeria as the most populous black nation to fall under Islam? It will be something of a pride to them, to see Nigeria fall under Islam. They'll be very proud. The Arab world will be very proud of that. And that is why they have invested, so much on this conquest agenda that is going on. Imagine the killing that is taking place in Enugu. The governor is not saying anything. Imagine the killing that is taking place in Aburi and other states. Those governors are not saying anything, meaning that there must be something that Gowon actually know about the unity of Nigeria. There must be something that T.Y. Dajuma had or secret they kept about why the Nigeria has come to this level they are and why they are silent. We are even hearing that Gowon has been complaining secretly that he made a very deadly mistake, especially when he's been faced with the reality of invasion by the Fulani, taking down, disaliving thousands of Middle Belters, especially in Plateau, Middle Belt, and the rest of them, where it was believed that Gowon and Dajuma actually came from. This is standing on the face on daily basis. Information has it that they complained a lot secretly, they weep a lot secretly. They look at it, they do not have anything to say in that regard. I will say that to an extent, they might be actually eyeing the support or backing of Nigerian disintegration and support for Biafra at the end of the day. The way I'm saying, I'm looking at it. Remember, they have applied and called the federal government themselves to use kinetic and non-kinetic means to see how they are going to dismantle. But it's unfortunate that herdsmen, Fulani attacks on Nigerian soil has become an ideology. Very difficult for you to conquer such extremist ideology that is tied to religion. And that is what they are regretting deeply now. Yes, they are trying to build a certain alliance with some unseen, powerful IPOB members, to remember them when Biafra comes.